Packing in a carry-on suitcase for a coolcation vacation sounds easy enough, right? You need just something for the hot, the cool in the evening. Oh, and by the way, there could be a pop-up thunderstorm. A little more complicated than just grabbing a rain jacket, packing it up, and heading out the door. Last week, I got the Mother Nature reminder when we were in Colorado Springs and we started our bike tour in about 85, 90 degrees. By the end of that ride, soaked. So today I thought I would put together all of the carry-on packing tips, tricks, and packing hack. The next time you take a Coolcation, you will be all ready to go for the hot, the cold, and the pop-up thunderstorms. So let's fly into it. Coolcation vacations isn't about packing to stay warm. It's about packing to stay ready. Varying climates from hot to cool and the pop-up thunderstorms, you've got to pack strategically to have everything you need just in case. I am specifically going to talk about the last two trips I did this month, which was Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Leavenworth, Washington, both in mountainous areas. One a little closer to sea level, one up in the clouds. Both have varying temperatures, and it's packing completely different than if we were just going to the beach. Things I packed in my carry-on suitcase, the mistakes I made, and how you can pack in a carry-on suitcase and a personal item bag only for the entire trip and still have everything you need to stay comfortable while you're on vacation. Colorado Springs sits at the base of about 6,000 feet above sea level. It goes up to, say you go to the top of Pikes Peak, which is at 14,000 plus feet above sea level. You are going to have a dry heat. That also means it can be 80s, 90s in the heat of the day. It cools down to the 50s and 60s at night, which is a plus. But in the middle, prepare for the pop-up thunderstorms. I was prepared, but not fully prepared. And then you have Leavenworth, Washington, which is about 2.5 hours outside of Seattle, closer to sea level, still up in the Cascade Mountains. So there's the varying temperatures, but then down in the town of Leavenworth, tucked in there in the mountains, it got plenty hot during the day. We want to pack for all of those extremes, but still be comfortable as we're vacationing around. Thus the word coolcation, because we are preparing for everything that Mother Nature can toss at us in a day. There's a mindset shift here. We're not packing for a place more as we are packing for unpredictability because of all of those ranges. That shift, when we're packing in a carry-on suitcase for the trip, we've got to think in layers. Base layers. Merino wool is one of the best, whether it be a t-shirt, a hooded shell, a long sleeve, a tank. There's our base layer. Depending on how your body temperature fluctuates in this midlife, you may have as your base layer a long sleeve wool base, and then as your mid-level, you may have, say if you're a tank, you may have the long sleeved for the middle layer, or run a little cooler, a little heavier of a jacket. And then you have the shell layer or top layer, which again, depending on temperature-wise, could also be a heavier coat or just a portable poncho that you can pull out when the thunderstorm hits. The reason this beats a one outfit per day approach is simple math. 5 days, one outfit each, that's 5 bulky combinations taking up the whole bag, rather than 5 days, this 3-layer system, and you're combining the same 4 to 5 pieces every single day. Same bag space, way more coverage. A couple of the MVPs of that trip that if you are also preparing for a coolcation, one would be some type of merino wool shirt. Hooded, long sleeve, which I love my smart wool one, whether it just be a long sleeve one. I think that one I have is from Quince, or a V-neck tee, something that is going to keep the sweat and the moisture wicking. Definitely an MVP for a Coolcation. The other thing, it is a very dry heat. And if you have dry skin to begin with, lotion. Lotion to pack in your toiletry bag because it is considered a liquid, or a lotion stick works great. I travel with this everywhere now because I don't have to keep it in my toiletry bag. Have some type of lotion and chapstick. You will dry out very quickly, along with watering the inside. Reusable water bottle, keeping that with you on that trip, big plus. The other things would be the extreme heat, sunscreen. I have these packable portable sunscreen packs that just snap open, and this was enough for both my husband and I to do our face and our arms that were all uncovered from the sun. The other thing, which I made a mistake, it happens, I chose my cushier socks so that the heel was a little cushier because we were going on a bike ride. We were going to be doing a little hiking there at Garden of the Gods. I should have worn my more athletic moisture wicking socks because in that pop-up thunderstorm, they were drenched. I still had my hiking sneakers, which helped a lot, but nothing's going to be in that open spot, which the rain just kept pounding in. Those socks did not dry real quick. Definitely a moisture wicking pair of socks versus the comfort ones. Hindsight, I should have been wearing the athletic socks that day and my bandages. These are cushioned bandages that I like to take on trips just to put around my ankle. It gives a little extra cushion in my hiking shoes or even in my everyday walking shoes on trips. Packable ponchos. It was still somewhat warm in that pop-up storm when we were riding on our end of our bike ride. It was probably like the last 10 minutes or so. I had packed these, but I forgot them in the hotel room. Thankfully, our tour guide had some. They weren't as good as these, but at least they kept most of me dry. Packing along and remembering in your carry-on, either your backpack or your belt bag that you take on the day's adventures, pack your ponchos, because at some point you will be pulling these out. And if you didn't bring your raincoat, these are great. Next, let's talk about shoes. Usually I wear one, pack two in my carry-on suitcase. When I know we're going to be doing hiking, I pack my hiking tennis shoes. For our walk around, comfort, not hiking days, I don't know if you can see it, but like the breathable mesh. We didn't do much hiking when we went up to the top of Pikes Peak, so I wore these, which were perfect. They're cushy, they're comfortable, and breathable. A pair of sandals for just the walking around the cute little towns there in Colorado Springs. They're waterproof, small to pack. I had all my bases covered there on my shoes and wore them all on the right day. So bonus there. The next piece in the layers, and it's a hat. If you're not a hiker or adventurer, just more of a light tour, having a good sun hat, easily packable, which is my favorite part of it. This little strap comes undone and you wrap the black piece around it, so then you can just tuck it in there, or you just leave it open and then use all that open space to pack within it. Just multiple different ways that you can squeeze this in your carry-on suitcase. Taking some type of cap to keep the sun off along with your sunglasses. Or option 3 is a sun umbrella. It's nice because it comes carrying, but it also has space for me to put eye drops, things on the side, a sun protection umbrella. And I'm sure in a pinch, I could have used it in the rainstorm. I just haven't tested that part out, but it's great for the sun to have as a backup. I'm a little bit frazzled today. I'm getting things out of order. I'm sorry. But the other thing I brought on that trip was just a light jacket. And this one, again, it's got sun protection and it kept me perfectly warm when the thunderstorms popped up, as well as into the evening. Breathable pockets. This is the one I packed for those 2 trips versus My longer rain jacket. This is another great one that will, in a pop-up storm, not too heavy, but will keep you dry and warm. And in Leavenworth, Washington, those stats drive through the Cascade Mountains where it's cooler being up in the mountains, but Leavenworth is actually tucked down in between, so it got plenty hot. Driving down into Leavenworth, it gets much warmer. I packed my lighter weight pants. I wish you could see through the screen, but not much to them, but it still gave me coverage. And then for the light hike, it wasn't, not a lot of, it weren't walking through brush and things like that. It was more of a groomed path. You could wear skirt, or you could wear shorts, or I have a pair of Viore joggers that I love. Anything like that that's lightweight, if again, that you like to do hiking in the mountains before you get down to the warmer, sunnier, hotter Leavenworth Village. I also took the same jacket. Having those 3 layers versus packing just outfit specific per day is going to get you more wears and be better prepared for any pop-up surprises. Just remember to put it in your day bag and don't leave it in your suitcase in the hotel room. T-shirt, long sleeve. All of these are merino wool. This is long sleeve hooded. Those are my top base layers, followed by my mid layer jacket, lightweight, block the sun, doesn't take up much room. If you want to pack it in your suitcase, or you can wear it on the plane. And then the pop-up top layer, the ponchos, if we need them. Base, mid, top. Done. My bottoms, pair of joggers, warmer days, skirts or shorts, whichever you like to wear. And then a lightweight dinner ready pair of pants, or maybe a skirt. They don't take up much space in my suitcase, but they look nice. I can dress them up, dress them down. They hardly take up any space in my suitcase. And then you're gonna add in 2 of your tops that go with those nicer bottoms to go out for dinner, that can be repurposed for strolling around town when you wear the nicer pair of pants and you're not hiking or doing something strenuous that day, that can also be used for dinner time. All of this is fairly casual, but don't forget to add in a couple nice pieces. If you go out to a nice dinner, the hiking sneakers that don't look like big, bulky, going out in the middle of nowhere sneakers, so I could wear them touring, but as well as on our hiking day. I did have plenty of space that trip, so I packed this bulkier pair. Usually I give the packing tip of wear your bulkiest pair on the airplane, but I had no space trouble on this one. I wore my black sneakers instead on the airplane, and then also packed these sandals, which super small. And then the weather insurance policy, the sun umbrella, which could also be used as a crossbody bag. The bag I took on the trip was this crossbody bag, mainly for the reason of this beauty. Water bottle holder. Pack your water. And I already packed the ponchos on the other side, but also included in your weather insurance policy, the ponchos. If this is your first time here, I don't pack my crossbody bag in my suitcase. It will go in my personal item bag as my 3rd bag. You just have to remember to leave space inside your personal item bag so that you can tuck that in there when you are boarding the airplane, because we only get 1 carry-on suitcase and 1 personal item bag only. And especially in summer travel, they are really cracking down on that. Last up, the accessories. Whether you're a ball cap person, sun hat person, or a scarf person, having some type of sun protection on our heads, on our shoulders, is just a plus in a Coolcation packing. The nice thing about my travel scarf, it does come with the loop, and they have not yet made me take it off my personal item bag. So instead of taking up space in my suitcase, I'll just usually clip that on the outside. The gate agent hasn't said anything to me to have to pack that away yet. These three, along with having a dry bag in your suitcase, that if you're leaving the next day or you have to pack up, that you have something that you can pack that in. If you don't have one in your suitcase, at least bringing one along with you. A Ziploc gallon bag or an old grocery bag, something that's in there so that if you still have something that is wet or damp, you can pack it in there without putting it in with all the rest of your clothes in the suitcase. As I said, had come back from these trips, so I was just kind of packing them in there, rolling things up, which is a great way to pack, is the rolling folding method. But I also use packing cubes on my trips, and this set is a very versatile set. So if, for example, if you have a trolley bar down the middle, this fits perfectly in the middle of the trolley bar. Genius, love that. As well as when I talked about a dry bag, I wanted to show you this as well, because in that set, it comes with, you can use it as a laundry bag, which is what I usually use it for. It also has that inner shell that when I had it on that trip, that's where I put my larger damp clothes. I have that small pouch in my suitcase, which I use for the socks and the smaller pieces, and it goes out into a full bag, or I can use it half and half. So on the way out, I just packed this half, but on the way back, you push that all the way through and it becomes a full laundry bag, or in that case, a full wet bag to get my damp clothes home. Then if you are using packing cubes, you can still organize as far as your layers, packing your 3 top layers for your base, your mid, and your top layers into one cube, and then your bottoms and things like that into the other cube. So it kind of keeps you somewhat organized if you are a packing cube packer. The other Coolcation trip that I would use this system for is an Alaskan cruise, which is in full force right now. And I have a video specifically on the Alaskan cruise that we had taken. I will link that down below in the description. Click under the More section. The description will pop up with all of those links. I'll also link below all of my things that I took on this trip if you're curious or just want other examples of a Coolcation vacation. That is my Coolcation vacation guide for you, so that you can pack for the hot sun, the cool nights, and the pop-up thunderstorms without having a worry of anything going wrong, unless you forget it in the hotel room. I'm That Pilot Wife Lady here on YouTube to help you travel well, travel light, and travel in your own kind of style on every trip. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you back here next week, I hope. Happy travel. Put your fluctuates. These are cushioned upside down. 52. What does it feel like? 32, 10. Take 452. Okay.